Hey everyone, welcome back to another developer blog from BattleGoat Studios. Today we want to talk a little bit about what we have achieved so far in the development of Galactic Ruler. There's been a lot of questions that came in, and if you look back through some of our YouTube videos, you'll find we've done some answering the questions that came to us from the community. But today we're just going to take a couple minutes and talk about what we've achieved so far that we're happy with. So Galactic Ruler has given us the opportunity to explore procedural generation. When we dealt with Supreme Ruler, you were constantly having maps. It's the map of the world. And it didn't matter what era you were in, you generally knew who the other players were and where they were located, assuming your geography and history are up to date. But now we're dealing with different planets in different systems across a galaxy. So we now have a system in place where you can procedurally generate maps that are more Arctic, more islands, more land masses and stuff like that. And so that's come together nicely to have a good variety of planets to get us moving things forward. We've also worked on changing some of the menu system as you arrive into the game. Because of the fact that you start a game, you're not sure every time which races you're going to encounter, where they are within the galaxy. It means that the menu system, as you're setting up your single player or your multiplayer game, did require a little bit of adjusting to the way we connect everything up. But now we've got a lot of those things moving forward, and players can pick a faction, any of the ones that we've got in the game, and launch and arrive on their home planet to start playing their game.
And one of the things we should also mention is, as we've done in our entire series, we're looking at making everything very moddable. So even though a lot of these things are going to have certain settings that you can access from the menu, and Chris will be talking about that in a moment, everything also comes out of our core data files that people can actually change. If they prefer an entire galaxy that's filled with only ice worlds because that's what they feel like, they can actually make those changes in the data files, and those will be what the procedural generation will come up with.
And also building on that is to try and make obviously it's a randomness that you want to have in the game, but if you find a certain setup that you launch it and you really like what you've got, we have made sure that the seed, the root from which all random things come within the game, is visible to the players. So for sure, once the game is complete and people are playing this, you'll be able to see the seed that generated the map you're in. If you know your settings, you know your seed, you could tell a friend, say, hey, I played a great game last night. This was my seed number. Punch it in, give it a try. So, and then anything that you mod would obviously affect that. But by having a seed, our hope is that it will allow players to also create a few predictable things if they want to reproduce something. Some of the things that we've also got working at this point is that we have the planet that you're on. From there, you can go to the system level. And a given planet may have some moons. The planet and its moons sit at an orbital ring position, and you can have multiple planets within the system. And from the system, you can go up to the galaxy to look at all the other systems. So we have the navigation functioning at this point. Some of the stuff we're still working on is to get better feedback around when you're looking at a system on the galaxy level, or you're looking at a cluster of planets within the system level, being able to get, as a player, a very quick understanding of what is in that location. And is it of interest to you? Is it not? So that's one of the things that we've got a little bit of stuff. Hopefully we can show some good screenshots of where that's going. But still more work to be done because we want to make it as solid as we can. And as I mentioned, once you've set up a procedurally generated galaxy and you go down to the planet, the intent is that regardless of the race you pick, because of the storyline we're building, that you start the game on your home planet. That you don't own an empire to start, you are one faction on your home planet looking to expand out from there. To create a good level of uniqueness, we've already shared out pictures of a number of the races that we've been thrilled by the response. Everybody seems excited by all our funky looking aliens. But beyond that, while it builds on the engine we'd created from the other games, we need entirely new buildings, new units for the land, for the air, for the sea, and we now need space units. That we have a number of different shipyards. Most of them are unique, but within a given faction. So two different human factions will have different versions of the same ships, but lots of variety in the ships in terms of the same type across the races. And the idea being, so you start on this one planet and you're expanding outwards. And excited to be able to start exploring some of that stuff. We are still in the alpha stage, so a number of these ideas are still on paper documented, being implemented. And so now that we've achieved a lot of this, the next couple of weeks, one of the things we are focused on is using the game engine, doing some testing in single player and in multiplayer between the team members here to start evaluating some of those first baseline values that we put in for data for ship stats and things like that. We want to start playing through those and seeing how does that feel, how does it seem to interact with the other variables, and start doing some real analysis to be able to get more than functional and actually move towards fun with a lot of the development.
Yeah, with one of our challenges, of course, the things that are unique about Galactic Ruler compared to a lot of the other space games is its very high level of tactical gameplay. So everything on every planet, if you have 20 planets you're involved with, those 20 planets are going to be ongoing situations. We have to have an interface that will let you not be overwhelmed, but also not hide the fact that this is a very sophisticated game, and the tactical model we bring to it is something that people just have not seen in other games of this type.
Yeah, so we're very excited about all this stuff. We will be getting back to some of the question and answer videos that we've done around Galactic Ruler. So if you haven't heard the answer to your question in our previous videos and haven't sent us our questions yet, feel free to send those over to us. If you're looking for more information about our games, obviously we have the usual Facebook, Twitter. We have a Discord channel where you have the opportunity to interact with other players and a bit the development team. We monitor the stuff that's going on there. Sometimes too busy to do much chatting, but we follow along. And if you're new to our series, our company, our Supreme Ruler series has been around for quite a long time and still gets lots of people enjoying it and discovering it. So hopefully you like the stuff you see. Hopefully you'll keep following our development and watch for our next videos. Bye.